Hello, what have we here? And welcome to another episode of the There Are More of Us show, where we celebrate creators spreading positivity and joy through their love of Star Wars. Today, we have my friend Hannah. You may know them as Princess Leia or the General. They are a wonderful creator, and they have been a long time coming on this show. It's just been, I took a break. We all got to do that sometimes for our mental health. But I'm very excited for this conversation, and I hope you enjoy it on here, the There Are More of Us show. There are more of us. Well, hello, Hannah.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Having a good Monday, as you do.
Yeah, I mean, Mondays they can be rough or they can be good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, today's one of the good ones. I get to talk to you, and we get to talk Star Wars and content, and
Yeah. The best thing ever.
yes, and you're joined by a little guest, I see.
Yes, a little guest. Hello. There we go. Want to say hello? There we go. Hi. She's a little bit needy today, so she'll be sitting in my lap for most of the podcast unless she wants to go run somewhere else.
I mean, who can say no to such a cute face like that?
Oh yeah, got a cute face. Yeah.
So for those that don't know your content, what kind of content do you make?
That is a good question. I'm trying to figure that out myself right now. I did make a lot more Star Wars back in the day. I'd say I like to showcase my costumes and have fun and do comedy here and there. And yeah, right now it's a blurb of a lot of stuff, but we're figuring it out. So yeah, anything nerdy, it's NerdyHans. So it's whatever is nerdy in my eyes that week. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I first saw you, it was obviously Princess Leia, but you've done Adam Eve, Spider-Man. You've done. Have you done? I know you've done Attack on Titan, but I don't remember who you've done from Attack on Titan.
I've done a couple from Attack on Titan now. I've done Hanji. I did Sasha forever ago. I did Levi actually this summer. That was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here and there. I'm all over the place.
Yes. All things nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your Star Wars story? Like, how'd you get into it, and why do you love it?
Yeah, when I was super little, my dad actually showed me Star Wars. He saw A New Hope in theaters, like when it first came out. So he's like a gold star Star Wars fan or whatever. But yeah, he showed me when I was super duper little, and then we would go see the new movies every Christmas, and that was like our thing for a very long time. And my dad's still alive, by the way. He's perfectly fine. There's no more Star Wars movies to see on Christmas nowadays, so but yeah, we'd go see all the sequels on Christmas, and that's kind of what got me into it. Was just my dad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we love a Star Wars parent.
Oh yeah.
So I know you have a special connection with like Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher. So what does Star Wars mean to you?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Honestly, Star Wars to me, it's always just been fundamentally about coming together with people and community, and fighting against a greater evil, sticking up for those who need it, fighting the oppressed, or fighting for the oppressed, not the oppressed. We don't want to fight those people. Yeah, that's kind of always what's meant for me. Really, is just those. There we go. Is those things. Yeah.
Yeah. So why did you choose Leia as one of your prominent cosplays?
Well, it's a much dumber story than I wish it were. I wish it were, Carrie Fisher ascended from the heavens and told me you must buy a Princess Leia cosplay or buy a sewing machine and learn how to make one. But no, that was not the case. I was scrolling on TikTok back in 2020, as we all did, and I saw all these really cool Star Wars cosplayers, and I was like, I want in. What do I do? Because I hadn't really done a ton of cosplay at that point. I was an anime kid, but I didn't really do any anime cosplays, and I I'd been to conventions, never really done. I worked as a party performer, like a birthday party princess kind of thing, for a couple of years at that point. So I was like, oh, it's like that. So that casting's based off of like who I look like. So I was like, okay, let's look in the mirror and see who I looked like. And at first I was like, oh, let's just do, Padme. I had super short hair at the time, and I was like, yeah, we can just get that done. But then I was looking in the mirror a little bit more, and I was like, oh, I do look a little bit like Carrie Fisher. So I went on Amazon and bought that like $30 costume, put it on, and I was like, oh, this could be something good. And that started an obsession where I then made my own A New Hope Leia costume. I'm on number 6 of those, I believe. I need to make a new one soon. And yeah, I started out with that one, and then I did the Endor Leia poncho, and then I just spiraled from there. And I bought some, made some. But I have all of them except for the Boosh one now. So that's why Princess Leia was. I looked in the mirror and made a decision.
I mean, I don't know anybody that really has that sort of, like, oh, this is gonna be like some grand story of it. Like Lando was just be like, okay, I'm not Lando. Like I am not that suave debonair man.
Right,
So I was
right.
just like, all right, well, who doesn't like that costume? So I was like, I think maybe early January or 2021 or late December, and I was like, okay, I'll order one and we'll just do it and we'll see what happens. And then here we are. It just happens,
Yeah, absolutely. It just kind of happens, and then it spirals out of control, and then you are Lando.
Yeah.
It's
You
kind of
don't
how it
need a
goes.
reason. You just do it.
Yep, just do it. It's that easy.
Yeah. So having been a Star Wars fan for a number of years, I'm sure you have some favorites, so we're going to get into that. What is your favorite Star Wars book?
I love that question. My favorite Star Wars book. My favorite series is obviously the High Republic series. I'm loving that so far. I don't think I can pick a favorite book of that just because they're all so unique and complex. But my favorite Star Wars book, honestly, Lost Stars. I believe it's
Mm-hmm.
by Claudia Gray, but I might be
Yep.
wrong about that. Lost Stars is my favorite Star Wars book. I recommend it to literally anybody. In terms of story, it's my favorite, but I think the best Star Wars book to get started with, which is not the question you asked, but I think the best one to get started with is called like Skywalker, a Saga or something like that. It's literally, I kid you not, all 9 movies, just and a little bit of Clone Wars, just summed up into a book. And the lettering is nice and big, and you get through it really fast. And there's pictures, and it's great. So I recommend that book. But yeah, I think Lost Stars is my favorite.
I am still waiting on my Lost Stars sequel. I
Me
need to
too.
find out what happened to Thane and Ciena Reeve
Mhm.
because like you can't just leave it there and it's like
No.
okay, like if they show up in the Mando movie, I will because the actors that Claudia Gray based or like what she thought they would look like they're still it's only been a few years, they still look the same,
That's
so like
true.
they Dave Filoni, if you're listening,
Hit him
please.
up, please. That's what
Yes,
the people want.
exactly. But yeah, no, I love Lost Stars, and I also love because I that was the first one that I picked up that was Star Wars and a manga collaboration. So I'm like,
Okay.
do more books like that. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure. I agree with that entirely.
yeah, it opens it up to a whole new audience, and I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't love a good Star Wars manga?
Yeah, exactly. Completely agree with you there.
Yeah. So now we're going to characters from any era, legends or canon. You get three of your favorite
You
characters.
have 3? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's tricky. Obviously Leia's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know what? Back in like 2020, I had a huge thing for Shak T as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I love her as a character. And I don't know if you have time for me to get into that, but like
Oh
I
yes,
just
go for it.
Oh really? Oh great.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, go
I
for it.
think she's so interesting. She's like the only Jedi of like her grade and like her, she's not bad. She's actually a pretty good Jedi. She ranked pretty high up there, and there wasn't a ranking, but she's very powerful. She didn't like go to war, She didn't go join the fighting like all the other Jedi. She stayed on Camino and like kept an eye on things and worked behind the scenes, and she took a step back and took exposition and oversaw everything, and honestly I think for the best because she would have figured everything out way sooner than it actually happened. So
Mhm.
yeah, I love Shakti. Who else? I don't know. We have Leia, we have Shakti, we have last one. Oh, it's hard. Oh, just for fun, honestly, I love Jackie. I think I'm
Mm.
a little bit of a Jackie fan person. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
Jackie.
I'm part of the club. Love Jackie, so I want more Jackie. Sadly, that can't happen.
I I was I was shocked
Me
that she
too.
died because I was like, okay, Daphne Keane, she's on the rise as an actress.
Yeah,
So I'm like, they're not going like if they're going to kill it, they might it'd be like the finale, right? It wouldn't just be like, and I'm like, I'm sitting there
one-off
watching with my
episode.
brother, and I'm just like, oh yeah, nah, she's gonna be fine. And then
Yeah.
everybody was just not fine. I was like, oh,
Oh, this is not good. Yeah.
yeah. And then Shakti, I think my first, besides when she pops up in Attack of the Clones very briefly,
Mm,
was the 2003 Clone Wars series. And
mm.
so I'm seeing her, fighting Grievous, and I'm like, okay. And then the first season ends, I was like, all right, well, I got to give her props. And then the second season, I was just like, they keep putting her in bad situations.
That's true. They do, and she's had like what 3 deaths in
Yeah.
canon. Oh,
Well, yeah, because you had the Revenge of the Sith deleted scene where she gets stabbed in on the Malevolence, I think is Grievous's ship, and then she gets killed by Anakin in the deleted scene on the Temple, and then you have the Force Unleashed
yes.
where she gets killed by Starkiller. I'm just like, all right,
My gosh, give the woman a break.
yeah, there's like, I mean, Legends continuity is its own thing, but like,
Yeah.
you got 3 deaths there, all
Yeah,
within
that's a
the span of
lot.
3 years.
Yeah.
And then who can't help but love Leia?
Oh, so true.
I just, still every
She's so
time I
easy to
hear her
love.
theme, especially when I'm like at Disney somewhere, like it'll be like, like the World of Disney store at downtown Disney, and I walk by and then her theme starts playing, and I'm just like,
Yep. That's a magical theme. I have a cute little. Sorry, my dog is stepping on paper right now. Can you sit down? She likes to move around. um, yeah, I love hearing those themes at the parks. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite. My favorite time at the parks was seeing it. Like they don't do it anymore, but they used to do a Star Wars. Are you serious? A Star Wars fireworks show
mm-hmm.
on for May the 4th for like Star Wars Night or whatever it's called. And I remember 2 years ago I was in Batu for it, which is pretty cool. We were in Batu for the fireworks, and no one was there weirdly because it happens like at the castle, I think. And we got to Han and Leia's theme, and that was the first time my partner and I told each other that we loved each other. So that's to Leia and Han's theme. So yeah, that was pretty cool experience. But yeah, that theme gets me going.
Mine was after Attack of the Clones, so it's similar.
It's very on brand.
It was just the sand line. It really does work.
That's true. It does.
Well,
Gosh.
like I guess that's the most iconic quote in the prequels. So it's a perfect segue to what is your favorite Star Wars quote?
That's a great quote. It's a good segue, actually. Oh my gosh, I have so many. I have to actually let's see. Honestly, so myself personally, like a personal one that I really like, I have to say it's Leia's what's it called? What is it? When does she say it? Oh, when she's sticking up to Vader in A New Hope. When she's really sticking it to him, and she has a weird little British accent. I just love that line. But also, I love "There Are More of Us." I really do love that line. Genuinely, it's like one of my favorite parts of the entire sequel trilogy. Is just that moment. So yeah, it's honestly those two.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can't remember if it was an interview like way later in her life, or maybe like around the time of the prequels, where people asked her about like that scene, and where she was just like, I was just so scared of Peter Cushing, and I thought I was like just doing a British accent, and I was just like, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's a perfect excuse.
Yeah, I just think like, Leia's just like mocking Tarkin in that scene by like, doing that accent and just, sticking it to him like, I'm not afraid of you. And it's like, we love that for Leia.
I'll throw your words right back at you. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, how many characters get to stick it to Vader and live to tell
Live.
it?
Yeah, exactly. Not many.
Yeah, you
And
got
she made it all
Leia.
the way through the entire series, so
Yeah, Leia,
or almost.
Obi-Wan, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, so what is your favorite musical piece from Star Wars?
Ooh. I mean, Leia's theme, it's easy.
Yeah.
I do love that theme, but also I do love Across the Stars. I think that one is highly underrated.
Yes.
Um, but also, I think that Padme's Ruminations, I think that's what it's called, where
Mm-hmm.
she's looking across Coruscant in Revenge of the Sith. I think that's my favorite. Maybe.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good one.
Across the Stars is my favorite piece from the prequels.
Oh,
I do think John Williams, like, George gave him a call and he's like, "Hey, I got another Star Wars trilogy for you." And then John was like, "All right, I'm about to break out the best work I can do." Because
yep.
yeah, the prequel or the Phantom Menace soundtrack, banger. The
Oh
Attack
my
of the
gosh.
Clones, banger. Revenge of the Sith, just masterpiece. Like it's
Oh,
just that whole sequence from, I would honestly say, from Padme's Ruminations through Anakin's dark deeds is just
art.
sensational.
Oh,
I
so good.
really need Disney to have the prequel trilogy concerts on tour next, because it's just been this. Well, it was the original trilogy, and I think COVID kind of killed it a little bit.
Yeah.
And now it's a sequel trilogy, and I'm like, we're coming up on all the anniversaries for the prequels, and I guess 10 years for the Force Awakens next year, which I
Yeah.
don't want to think about that being 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh, that's
I was
crazy.
I was
My
21.
goodness.
Ugh. But yeah, no, because I would love to see those in concert,
Oh my
just
gosh,
to
same.
have all that on screen and just watching Duel of the Fates while, or he listening to
The
Duel of the Fates
gorge
while
plays.
watching the, yeah. Oh.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, if you live near, well, you probably do. Most people live in the, near a major city.
Mhm.
Your local symphony is probably going to be playing them at some point because they can just get the rights. And my dad is the CEO of a symphony in Indiana,
Mhm.
so they do a Star Wars every year. And this year, I think they're doing Force Awakens. I could be wrong about that. But you never know. A symphony near you could literally just be doing it.
Yeah,
And
they just did the music of Star Wars this past weekend. And I'm like,
oh, fun.
I need to see it, because I saw Empire Strikes Back where the orchestra played the score, and
Yeah.
I was just like, this ruins everything else for me.
Yep.
And then I saw The Force Awakens last year.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a
Amazing.
wonderful
Yeah.
experience. I can't recommend it enough. If you don't go to
So
the
true.
orchestra for anything, go for that.
Oh yeah, it should be like their pop series or something. Look up any orchestra near you, and they're probably doing something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
And
highly recommend. I've seen them all at this point. I think in concert.
mhm,
Yeah, I think I've seen all nine, or except for the last one. That one's a little bit expensive. But
yeah.
I've seen 8 of the 9, and then not the other ones. So I cannot recommend enough for sure.
Oh yeah. Uh, and so now we're at your surprise mystery box question.
Oh my gosh.
So you get to go out with Leia anywhere,
Okay.
anytime. You get a. I'm gonna give you a weekend with
Wow.
Leia. You can pick at any age where Leia is in her journey. Uh,
Sounds good.
what are y'all getting into?
What are we getting into? Oh my gosh. I would say something way more exciting, but honestly, the first thing that my mind jumps to is we are hanging out in her apartment. I think she's already married John at this point. They're married, they're chilling. I don't know if she has the kid yet. We'll see. But I think we're chilling in her apartment on like Coruscant or wherever the capital is at that point, and we're just dishing drama. We're just talking. We're just over like a glass of, whatever the alcoholic beverage is that she chooses. I feel like she's got good taste. And I think she's just spewing life advice and just yapping for hours. And I'm just there like, keep it going. Yeah. I'm notepad out, just writing everything down. I think that's how I would spend a weekend with her. Like just some alcohol and a yap. I think that's how I'd spend my time with Princess Leia in her like mid to late 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, because she would be in her mid to late 20s. And wow.
Yeah, she was all very young.
Yeah, because it's interesting to think about, like, in the original trilogy, they go from really like 19 to kind of like 24 for
Yeah.
Luke and Leia, and then Han's like early 30s to mid 30s, and Lando's just chilling in his mid-40s, which I'm
Oh
like,
my God, that's right.
yeah, you don't think about that really, especially like if
No.
you watch them as a kid or a teenager, you're just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
these people are like 15 years, they're adults, and it's like, no, they're not. I mean, Han and
Yeah.
Lando are, but like, yeah, uh,
Yeah. This birthday was a tough one for me. I just turned 24 back in January, and that was a hard one because I've officially aged out of original trilogy Leia. So I'm like, oh man, she did so much more than I did at 24 years old. But it's okay. I think it's funny.
I mean, see, now you're giving me something to look forward to because like I haven't even gotten to Han's age yet in A New Hope.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on, have I? No, it's 13 years,
He's
right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So see, I haven't even gotten to Han's age yet, let
Nope.
alone Lando's. I'm good.
Yeah. You got so much time. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Lando didn't even have a kid till he was like in his 60s, which is wild.
Exactly. Good for him. It's on
Can't-
brand for him. I will say that.
yeah, can't imagine. I need that. I still need that. Well, I do have the story to Shadow the Sith, but I need more. Give me the
Yeah.
give me the reunion between him and his daughter.
Please, we want it so bad.
We do. But yeah, no, thanks for coming on. I love chatting Star Wars with you. Obviously we haven't seen each other since Celebration London, I think.
Oh my gosh, really? That's wild.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's great to see you on, the internet.
Yeah. But before we go, tell the people where they can find you and all your amazing content.
Thank you. Yeah, you can find me on all of the apps at NerdyHans. That's me, NERDY, and then HANS, like Han Solo, but with an S. That's just what I was called when I was younger. So yeah, that's where you can find me. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, X.com, Threads, all the things.
Yeah, X.
Oh.
But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Thank you again to Hannah for coming on. Make sure you
Thank you
follow
for
them
having
on,
me.
of course, make sure you follow them on all the social media. Show them some love. And remember, until next time, there are more of us.